Today we'll be configuring cascading menu with parent-child using QuickApps for SharePoint, the Q Cascading menu web part. First things first, in order for us to create a menu using the Q Cascading menu, we have to create a list first. This list can be on any SharePoint site. The list has to have the following columns: title, menu ID, parent menu ID, URL, and then new window. The fields don't have to be exactly called like this, but you want to be able to reference them later on as you configure the Q Cascading menu web part, so make sure you remember what these values are. If you follow this schema, you will not have an issue. So that's first, and then what we do is we start filling out these values. So let me first kind of sort and walk you through what's going on. So I've got the first link in my menu. It's called resources. It doesn't link me to anything. It has a menu ID of 50. These numbers can be any numbers, can be in any sequence as long as you are able to follow the sequence. Internal is a child of 50. So resources, the first link I will see is internal, and it has an ID of 50.10. It can again be 50.1 or 50.100, doesn't matter, as long as it's sequential. 50.2 should be in here as well. So this is the other member or the other child of that menu. And then internal has its own children. Sales site, the parent for sales site is 50.10 parent menu ID, which is internal. And then for internal there is a sales site which is 50.10, that's the parent, dot another 10 for this link itself. And you see the flow. If this flow is way too complex, you can just build it with 1, 2, 3, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. I can go back and show you other examples as well, because getting this piece of it down is the most important piece of getting the entire web part configured accurately. So let me just quickly think of what would be a good. This would probably be a good link to visit. There's not much going on here. Demo Labs 40, that's the main ID. These other links belong to Demo Lab, and so they're 40.10, 40.20. Once you've got that set up, and you've got the links, and you've got whether you want to open it up in a new tab altogether or not, you go to the web part page. So let me go to our web part page, and let me configure how we consume this information. So we'll go to QuickApps for SharePoint. We'll select Cascading menu. We'll add it to the page. We'll configure the web part. Easy edit. So this is a cascading menu. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bind it to this list that I was just working on and I was showing you. And what we're going to do here is look for our panel menu resource link, which is right here. And we'll go ahead and click OK. You can add multiple menus to this, doesn't really matter. And then you can show this or hide it from specific groups. Well, you want to make sure you click on Edit next to the menu, because this is where you make the ties between, well, title is going to be mapped to the text field. This is the schema of a cascading menu. Menu ID is menu ID. Parent is parent. That's why if you come up with this schema, it'll be easier to map. URL is URL. And then target field name, when people click on it, open it up in a new window. That's the only thing you have to configure in here. We'll go ahead and click OK. We'll go ahead and click OK again. Do you want this to be vertical or horizontal? We'll just say horizontal. You can also change the width flow of the actual web part itself, and then the skin. So we can do a transparent skin. And we'll go ahead and click OK. We just configured a cascading menu. We'll stop editing so you can see it on the page. If I hover my mouse over resources, I get two options, 50.10 and 50.20. 50.10 has a 50.10.10. 50.10.60 has also additional links. And you see how you can cascade throughout this menu that way. And you can have multiple of these be present next to each other. I'll just go back and show you how we add. I'm just going to go in and add one more menu right next to cascading menu, right next to the resource link. I'm going to say add another one. Let's look for Reports, we'll go ahead and click OK. You have to go back into reports and make that kind of match between the fields. Parent menu ID, target is URL, and when you click on it, go to a new window, and we'll go ahead and click OK. We'll go ahead and click OK, and then we'll go ahead and change the skin just so that it will show you different skin names. So we'll say web blue. I like web blue, so let's do web blue. So we've got a cascading menu, it's got resources, and it's got call reports. Call reports is flat, doesn't have any children, but resources, as you saw earlier, has a lot of, has at least 2 levels down of children as far as links go. And so this concludes this video of cascading menu with QuickApps for SharePoint.